What's up YouTube, DK, we are back with yet another top 10 Final Fantasy countdown. Let's face it, most Final Fantasy games have this one attack, this one item, this one spell, this one weapon, this one character that makes the game a lot easier than it should have been. And for that reason you decide to spam it over and 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 over. Don't be ashamed, we all do it. And if you remove that one element from the game, you're totally fucked. Final Fantasy VII has way too many unbalanced overpowered tricks, so it doesn't count. Sorry fanboys. There's about 10 ways you can kill an enemy weapon before he gets 3 turns. So let's get started. This is my opinion on Final Fantasy's most overpowered spams. No, that wasn't a typo. Most of you are expecting this to be number 1, so let's get this one out of the way. I mean really, why did you even bother buying this game if you're not going to fight these bosses the way they were meant to be fought? Yes, there are other people who can kill super bosses in one hit, but with them it's a lot harder to do. Anytime you resort to using Zanmato, you basically said, I suck.
Activating combat mode.
This is the sole reason why I took Minerva off the top 10 hardest Final Fantasy bosses. I mean, let's be serious here. This attack should never have been made. Right now, Zack's normal attacks can't even break 9,000, but with Costy Punch he does maximum damage. This lets me focus on more defensive builds to block uber attacks while still doing mass damage at a constant rate. It even hits multiple foes at once. You can beat the entire game just by spamming this one attack. I don't give a fuck how annoying you think she is, I simply love me some Vanille. But not just because of her looks. Be honest, how many of you would have been able to grind all the Skastar points were it not for Vanille? Some of the Outdolan and spam death over and over and over again until you eventually kill the Adamatoids and get all those lovely Crystalline points. Eventually you'll be strong enough to kill him without it. But I still need her to beat Neochu. Fuck that monster. Even without the insta-KO, Vanilla is still pretty fucking overpowered once you learn how to use her. I don't know about you, but personally, I don't like low level games in Final Fantasy VIII. I always go to level 100. There's just one problem. The normal monsters in this game are pretty fucking strong. You can't control Lionheart, duel takes too damn long, everything has limited ammo, 7's too fucking random, and I don't want to waste all my auras trying to bring a Wishing Star. In my LP of this game, Christy killed over 700 monsters. What the hell you say? Well, there's a reason for that. This is hands down my favorite attack in the entire game. I don't have to waste time putting in commands, spinning stupid slots. I can use it as many times as I please, whenever I please. The fact that it's limit break means that it takes priority. This attack is an instant kill on every normal monster in the game except for 5 of them, and you can get it as soon as the game starts. I just have one question about this attack. Why the fuck is Grat one of the 5 monsters immune to it? This ending fucking sucks. Oh well, I still love 13 too. The 2 basic jobs are Commando and Ravager. You will have these 2 jobs in your paradigm shift 9% of the time. Sarah and Noah can be your healers and your saboteurs. This leaves 2 jobs, Sentinel and Synergist. Yashina is hands down the best Synergist in the game. This fair link kicks major ass. But wait a minute, you want to throw a Sentinel to block stuff like this. I can only use 1 monster, but I need a Synergist and a Sentinel. So what do? This is probably the overall best monster in the entire game. He's not the best Sentinel, but he's more than good enough to get the job done. But the thing that makes this guy so broken is his fair link. It casts the most positive effects on the whole party. This way, he can be a Sentinel and a Synergist. What makes it more broken is the fact that the buffs last a lot longer this way. With fair speed too, he'll be able to use it again before the buffs even wear off. He can't use Faith, but Cloudburst can, who just happens to be one of the best Ravagers in the game. The combination of Quick and Master Scroll. I don't think we need to talk about this one. There's only one thing I hate about this game. It's too fucking hard! The AI reads your inputs like crazy and the late game mechanics are too damn strong. However, there are 2 things that make it somewhat manageable. The Leo Strike build is already broken on its own. However, you still have to hit the opponent. For some characters this is very hard, and for others it's very easy, like Yuna for example. The reason why this attack is so accurate is because the enemies are trying to dodge it at the last possible second, but the animation of Mega Flare comes out at the speed of light. When they're on the ground, all you gotta do is simply jump up and use it, and you hit them 90% of the time. Not to mention that it breaks you first, and it does wall rush damage. It will use a miss in the air, but this is where Valor comes in. You will lose sometimes because those late game mannequins are cheap as fuck, but Yuna is the best person for handling the AI. I beat this whole game by spamming this one attack.
I will cast them away. That was a challenging trial.
As some of you will know by now, Rikku is my absolute favorite character in all Kingdom. And I am so glad I met Tara Strong. My life is now complete. Anyway, it's a shame that many people don't know how to use it because Mix is simply overpowered. There are so many things you can do with this old job to the point where you don't even have to level up to beat the game. There's a reason why I never fight with more than 9,999 hit points, because I don't need it as long as I have Rikku. So please stop telling me to use break hit point limit. Come on now, everybody uses it. Anybody who wants to take on Yasmet head on without reverse is pretty fucking crazy. Yes, I said head on, not standing on steps firing little pea shooters. Well, maybe in the international version because you can use Wither, but it doesn't work in the English version. Once this fucker uses growing threat, you better have reverse ready. Otherwise, it's one KO after another. I would love to see somebody beat this guy on one stage without reverse.
Twist my arm a little bit more, why don't ya?
You healed me.
Of course I did. I'm a nice guy.
And now what's to stop me from kicking your face in?
Because you touch me, and you're not getting back up again. That's right, I'm your white mage. And nobody f***s with the white mage.
Oh yes, the white mage. The reason why this is a spam is because this is the one job that's probably used in about 95% of your fights. Can you even begin to imagine how hard these games would be if you couldn't use a white mage? Some are not real white mages, but they are custom-made white mages who do nothing but heal in some form or another. This job can be easily replaced by Elixirs and Phoenix Downs, but unfortunately, Elixirs are normally pretty rare, and Phoenix Downs don't revive you at full hit points. Protecting your white mage should always be your #1 priority. That was originally going to be number 1, but it's actually possible to beat these games without a white mage. Hard as fuck, but possible. However, there's one item I think we can all agree that if it was never made, we'd all be totally fucked. No one here will have beaten this shit without this item. So here it is. The single most overpowered, overused spam in Final Fantasy. There's a really good reason why every walkthrough uses Catnip in the V Inferno. It's too fucking hard! What the fuck were they thinking when they made this dungeon? These are the cheapest monsters in the entire series. They hit too damn hard. They're too damn fast. Ribbon doesn't protect you from shit. And the encounter rate is too fucking high. Pretty much every monster in this dungeon can kill you in 10 seconds. You need to end these battles as quickly as possible, and Catnip is the best way to do it. The typical strategy is 2 tanks and 1 Catnip gunner user. In most cases your tank will be your mascot, but personally I prefer the Dark Knight because it's my favorite jet sphere. Is there anybody alive today that can pass this entire dungeon without spamming Catnip?